When I started, I was actually in South Korea. I deferred for 1 year, and then I decided that I wanted to stay in Korea, and I couldn't defer another year. So my first class was actually online, and it was from South Korea.
What I noticed that's different about other classes is the way he over-communicates things so that there's no misunderstandings. And I think that's important when you're doing an online class. You have to over-communicate. That's one thing that I learned from that.
I dreaded taking a class in an online format because I was so scared of not having to face-to-face. I was so scared of missing something, of forgetting to do an assignment. And when I took it, maybe that's part of the reason, but I prepared so much.
How well they did really had more to do with not what they knew, but with who they were. And one of our core values is community. And they worked extraordinarily hard at community. And that really showed in the class.
In my experience, the most powerful component of the online environments, there are two most powerful components. One is the discussion boards, because they're persistent and they're asynchronous. It allows you the time to digest it and consider what you want to write back and then write it back. It's also anonymous, or relatively anonymous. They're not seeing your face. You don't have to, so you can sort of try out theories and try out ideas and sort of see what reaction you'll get from certain things.
I do use online. I use Blended now in most of my classes for things like submitting assignments and taking tests, at least for my undergraduates. I haven't usually taken their tests online, and so we just went at University of North Carolina, Charlotte. We've been using Blackboard technology. We just went to the open source alternative Moodle. And so you catch me this week pulling my hair out about the frustrations with learning a new platform.
You know, I think a large part of it is the instructor. If you've got a good instructor who communicates well, like I mentioned, I think it's probably going to be a good experience. But if the instructor is very hands-off or doesn't communicate, leaves a lot of things open, could create a lot of misunderstanding.
The biggest stumbling block is vision. I don't think that we have the vision to really take advantage of it and to put the resources into it. I think we could do so many interesting things.
One of the biggest problems with online education has been trying to replicate the classroom online rather than looking at the technologies that are available and saying, what special or unique thing can this bring to an educational setting?
But I think that there are a lot of things that can be done, and I don't think that we really use the technology nearly to the extent that we don't push it. We don't even come close to pushing it. We basically try to do the same things that we've been doing for years, just online. You know, traditionally we take our same PowerPoints, try to modify them, and that's because we want to save our effort. If we've invested all this time and effort into this, plus we have experience with that.
But I also have seen the opposite. People talk a lot about nonverbal communication, but it also can get in the way. They say that you make an impression of somebody sometimes the first 15 seconds that you meet them. Well, if you don't have that 15 seconds to make that prejudgment, but you get to really hear and listen to what they write in their forums and get to know them that way, I think sometimes you get a more accurate picture instead of a less accurate picture when those nonverbal kinds of things are filtered out a little bit.
What else do I see? I see tooling being a big stumbling block. I think that we don't make it nearly easy enough for people to build
I do think it would involve a variety of activities. It would have a variety of Web 2.0, or hopefully by then Web 3 or 4.0 activities such as video. I really think the trend towards immersive education is strong, and that's going to be much more important in the future, involving, you know, probably virtual worlds and immersive experiences, simulations, video, things that really take you into an experience in a world and you experience it.
I think that my ideal classroom would give the students a great deal of control over what it is that they, over the direction that they take, but at the same time would give them a lot of structure.